On a cold, wet and windy Friday morning, the last place anyone would think to be was out on the water at Clontarf Beach. But that's exactly where four incredible women were, training for what would be the adventure of a lifetime. This past April, Pip, Sam, Alex and Steph travelled to Turkey to participate in the Gallipoli 100 surfboat race, an event organised in honour of the ANZAC centenary. It was to be a reenactment ceremony, paying homage to those Australian and New Zealand soldiers who sacrificed their lives on the exact same sands 100 years ago.
I think we'll be thinking about the sacrifices that these men and women made, and particularly the current Defence Forces also continue to make. I think sometimes people forget that. It's hard to comprehend what actually happened in Gallipoli and the amount of lives lost.
I think it will be like our grandfather and his brother who have actually gone to war and just trying to realise the sacrifices they made and the impact going to war would have had on their lives and how they did things.
For the past year, the women have been training around 5 times a week, both at the gym and on the water at Clontarf, in order to prepare themselves for the physical and mental challenges they would face come the event.
At this point in time, it's just get out there and give it our best shot. We're not, as I said, we're not too sure what to expect, so it's going to have to adapt and change as we go through the row. Being given temperature ranges of 2 to 22 degrees and then being told that there may be wind or there may not be wind, and then we've got the tides and the surf to contend with, so it's going to be very, very interesting.
The marathon took place over 2 days and saw the girls row from Ecobat to Morto Bay, up the peninsula to Fisherman's Hut, before finishing up in ANZAC Cove. Countries involved in the race included Australia, New Zealand and Turkey. As it goes with all good stories though, not everything went to plan.
So about 2 days in the lead up, our oars, we were always going to fly them over with us. They're pretty new and pretty expensive. So we're going to fly them over and they were coming on Emirates, and we got told 2 days beforehand that they couldn't. So we had to send them via cargo, which is fine. But then we had to get them out of customs because oars apparently are not personal equipment. I don't know, every girl should own an oar. So yeah, we spent a day, instead of sightseeing around Istanbul, getting our oars out of customs, but I fully believe we saw the heart of Istanbul because we've seen many departments that nobody else would have to experience in a process full of paperwork. And eventually we got our oars out and got to walk them all around town. So they wouldn't even fit on the buses. They're about just under 5 metres long. They wouldn't fit on the bus to get anywhere, so we had to walk them from the cruise ship around the wharf into town on the ferry. It was basically like wherever we went, our oars followed. It was just hilarious.
Having now returned home, Pip reflects on this very special experience.
We got to do an impromptu ceremony. There were 3 bagpipers, 2 school kids who were rowing with Scots College had them, and one of the other crews from South Curly had bagpipes, as you do. And then they started playing, everyone was singing Waltzing Matilda together. It was absolutely beautiful, just in a big huddle. And then someone else read out the ode, and there were people standing up on the ledge above who were there sightseeing and doing a battlefield tour, who were a part of it but sort of separated. And I think that's where the tears flowed, and that was the emotional side for me, because you're sitting at the beach, at the sand, looking up at the cliff face that everyone else would have faced. And we were in daylight and had gone through this row and had done sort of come in the way that they had came and seen it, but a much easier time, and it was just magical, really.
If that moment wasn't special enough, the girls were one of 3 teams to be presented an award for displaying ANZAC spirit. This involved displaying courage, ingenuity, mateship and a larrikin spirit. It's an experience that these 4 remarkable women will never forget.
It was absolutely incredible, completely overwhelming, and I don't really think the words to be able to describe it are going to be adequate to what we experienced. Friends, family, putting messages of support was incredible. It was a great honour, I guess, to be able to represent everyone.
Amy Grady, Artemis Adventure Magazine.